All right. You're going to see how this goes. Um, just trying it out. So bear with me. It's almost like a test run, just looking for some new ways to do things. Hopefully, I have enough light in here. All righty. So um, I'm here for the moment. This is Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace with myself, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. Today is Wednesday, September the 26th, 2018. Just imagine how this whole entire year has gone by so quickly. It's amazing, how things just fly by. And so I want to do maybe just a little bit of meditation. I'm going to keep it short, hopefully, because after all, it's my first time around. And I've just moved by spirit. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of blue light in my auric field. And so I've been back to wearing blue, and it seems to complement that energy that's coming on through. So I want to share something from my book here, which is Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. This is my well used copy. You can get it on Amazon.com for as a paperback book for $25, or you can get it as an ebook for $8.88. Or if you have Amazon Prime and Kindle Unlimited, you can get it as a Kindle ebook for free. So take advantage of what you can while you can. All right. So um, the Circle of Grace One, which I founded as a spiritual and metaphysical ministry back on July 2nd, 1999. And it came under the aegis and the anointing of the angel of grace through divine providence. It is a teaching mechanism for things that I've experienced under the vibration of grace, or which I call divine grace and the power of divine grace. Also, it has its own spiritual and metaphysical institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance, which came into being on February the 7th, 2009. So here we have, two spiritual platforms in which I can present information to you. And so I'm looking forward to do that. I might do these Facebooks. Well, I'm doing Facebook Live several times a week. I am doing, this is my first time here on YouTube Live. So let me start with something to kind of get the flow going. Through divine power and by divine grace, may all who have this opportunity to see this now or see it later, may you be blessed by what you're about to hear. May it be also in one way or another, may it also uplift your vibration, which is your frequency, and allow you to move into greater realms of prosperity and abundance, better health and wellness, emotionally and mentally for yourself. So it is, and so it shall be. Amen. All right. So I want to share something with all of you. And the more I do these, I will set them up more like by uh, schedules so that you could be on here live with me if you so choose. So, what I want to just bring across is the opportunity for us to deal with meditation and prayer. Because meditation and prayer, they kind of go hand in hand. And, once you get the hang of it, as they say, once you really get how it feels for you, then you could always switch it up. You know, you could go across and do it the way you want to do it for yourself. You could come to YouTube here. There are plenty of uh, meditation channels here, or people that have the live video streaming or recorded video streaming with a lot of sacred geometrical visuals that that are put to music, and you can kind of do it that way. You could go listen to different solfeggio tones recorded in the key of the tone itself, and then also see the visualization process that's there at the same time. So, there are many things that we could pull from to help boost our energy fields and our frequency with ourselves so that we can have a better experience of what that is for ourselves, what meditation is. From my book, Chapter 9, Meditation and prayer are sacred practices that work together for direct connection and co creation with the divine mind. The divine mind, or the God mind, or the universal God mind, or the I am presence, or the great I am presence, or I like to say the great central sun's presence in our lives, is an organic, very organic, intelligent, divine intelligent energy field that is processing like a huge computer, processing information, things that have been placed out in the galaxy for an extremely long time. And so we know there's thoughts traveling around, just like you hear, and there's air going around you. Some of that air is polluted, some of that air is clear. So in the universe, there's a lot of information that goes out that could be considered cleared or cluttered, or good or not good for you. You have to find the frequency, you have to find the words, you have to find the energy behind the words that resonate with you. And once you find that, then you could hop on that frequency continuously for yourself. And it's the same when you like involve yourself in some form of prayer. Like myself, I like praying. Praying is a part of me. I don't do it for, I remember when I first started out as a young boy, it was religiously, my mom prayed on a Wednesday, my mom prayed on a Friday, my mom was praying all the time, and she would have her friends come over like on a Wednesday, after they all finished their work. My mom and dad had their own business. So my mom would be doing things on a Wednesday. Sometimes she would go to her various other what we call prayer partners, which I found out were her spiritual community, because she had a Pacific spiritual community that just wasn't there on where I grew up in Hempstead, Long Island, New York. It just wasn't there. It extended into Brooklyn, it extended into Bronx, it went into Queens. It was in different parts of Manhattan. And I had the pleasure during my summertime, during my college time, during the summer, being home for the summer, driving her on a whim, going into Brooklyn. I didn't know where she was going. But eventually, after I got out of college, it all locked in, it all made sense that these various men and women that she knew was her greater spiritual community, and they were a greater spiritual community to her. Because then I realized my mother is what they call, she's more than psychic. She's more than that, because everything she would say would be like right on point. I mean, to the tenth of an inch, if we could say that. She could pick up on my vibration in college. She could pick up on exactly what I was doing. She didn't always invade it, but she let me know that she knew what I was going through all the time. So I knew that she had a gift. I knew she had a prophetic gift, that she could see into spirit. She could see into things, as we say, quote unquote, your future, but she could see the present, long before it evolved into the future, as we say. She could see the stream. She knew where things were coming and going, which I didn't understand in my 20s or even in my teens. I just know she had a gift. So, meditation and prayer are very important parts of our well-being. Just like people religiously, quote unquote, as a way of life every day, practice qigong, hatha yoga, raja yoga, which is dealing with your chakras and the energy flow that way. They're dealing with kriya yoga, bhakti yoga. Or they might be a person that runs every day. That's a part of what they do. So they go jogging and then turn that into a blast of running. You know, People go swimming because they know it's healthy for them. So these things are healthy for us in our own way, and we want to like really begin to vibe on that. So it's a sacred dance. There is a sacred dance between meditation and prayer, because basically um, they're partners to each other. In other words, many of us are either doing one or the other. And some people may say, well, I don't pray or neither do I meditate. But if you really observe your own life, if you really observe your own life, what you'll realize is that you're doing some form of meditation and some form of prayer. Prayer just means communication directly to the divine source. What is divine source to you? What is God to you? What is angels to you? It's your own way that you have, like, your private chat, okay, with the creator in you. Okay, that presence that's inside of you that allows you to open your eyes, allows you to close your eyes, allows you to blink your eyes, allows your heartbeat to beat for a certain period of time in your life, allows you to have a memory about other lives. So we know that there's something happening inside of ourselves that's allowing ourselves to experience something far greater than we can actually imagine. Not just the little ego inside. The little ego inside is a miscreation of thoughts. The little ego inside, which is that part of ourselves, is our illusionary part of ourselves that feels we understand everything and we're not open to anything. So even if it's something, a crumb that could help us change the frequency of our thoughts or and of our feelings. So let me move on. It is good to use prayer. So let me back up. Now, rapture can be felt during fervent prayer by those who have created a rich tapestry of vibrant sounds, emotions, mental intentions, causing a feeling of being, quote unquote, uplifted by the Spirit of God and the angelic realms. Prayer is understood as talking to God, and there are many forms. Now, I don't put it in this chapter because there's so many forms, but I just mentioned a few that can be considered like a prayer. Okay. It involves here, it is good to use your prayers for the highest good of all. So, yeah, when I get up, I have like a menu of what I want to do. But I also know that the prayers that I'm releasing, not just for myself, but I'm praying into the world, is for the hope that there's better peace, better harmony among friends, among families, among siblings, amongst parents, couples, amongst your community. That's what the prayer is for. Is for the so that there's a healing force that comes into our lives and participates in that part of our lives. And so it is my goal to utilize prayer in such a manner, as we do have to get in touch with ourselves. you know Sometimes we go, a simple prayer could be, you find yourself going through some difficult time and you go, oh man, I need this. That in itself, that little expression right there, was your prayer. You release the thought with a feeling, emotional feeling about it, that there's something that you desire to have happened or to happen soon, so that you're alleviated of that problem, so that problem is like gone out of your life. Okay. So is blessed through the energy created by the prayers and intentions held within them, because you're using it for the highest good. So of course you want it to be saturated. You want your prayer to be saturated with enough energy that it can be released. It's like the same as pumping up a balloon. Well, a balloon can't go anywhere if it doesn't have any helium. Or we see out here in New Mexico, hot air balloons. They're not going anywhere until there's enough flame, enough heat, right? Enough of the helium air to go up in the gas to go up into the balloon. And the flaps on the balloon have to be closed so that the balloon can fill up. Then they got to catch the wind. They got a crew people are in the basket, but they got a crew that's kind of pushing it a little bit to help it catch the stream so that it can go up. Okay. So it can rise. So we know this is good. A clear intention brings forth an answer of great clarity. The late Reverend Ike always used to say, you have to decide on what you want. You just can't willy nilly go through life going, I don't know, maybe. Well, if you have the attitude that I don't know and maybe, then what happens is you just get whatever's there. So whatever frequency of energy that's rolling around you, that's what you'll get. Maybe a more simplistic way is you gotta take a train somewhere. Now you might want to take a train ride just to be taking a train ride. But if you know what the destination is, and if you're somewhat familiar with the route a little bit, then you can kind of expect, okay, when I get on this train at 11 a.m., I'll be at my destination by 12:10. Provided there's no problems on the track, there's no train engine problems or anything. There's no accidents that have, quote unquote, accidents that have occurred on the track that my train is on. Okay, so now you said to yourself, when you got up in the morning, your desire was to have a nice train ride to your Pacific destination and for you to enjoy other passengers on the train, the conductors, because people who can socialize, people who can talk pretty much can enjoy the ride. People who don't talk doesn't mean that they don't enjoy the ride, but when you have a little extra interaction that goes on, then what you feel more what centered and you feel more excited about your trip. You're not just sitting there looking out the window, but you're getting the feel, getting the energy. So you had a clear intention. That's what Reverend Ike says. Have a clear thought, a clear intention. Have a clear feeling about it. You know, once you know you're taking the trip on the train, get excited about it. Like really boost up your emotional energy so that you know that it's a good ride for you. Not only going, but coming back. And what happens between the time of the going and coming, you're going to want that to be filled with what? A lot of love, a lot of joy, a lot of maybe excitement. It could be gradual excitement, but nonetheless, it'll be excitement. So prayer is like a key that opens many locks and then allows the aspirant, that's the one who's aspiring, to utilize the prayer, the words, and the energy and its intention to gain entry into the chambers of light and higher consciousness of the unfolding truths. The most important part of the prayer, whether it is an affirmation or a decree, silent or straight from your own heart. Straight means you just got a feeling and then you say it, is that it proclaims the omnipresence of the divine, followed by your direct relationship to the divine mind, and acknowledges your co-creatorship. So we know you're going to use faith, and you're going to use trust, intention, and expectancy to kind of get what you want, so that it flows. So you're looking for it to flow when you say a prayer, just like a train ride, or you get in your car and you go somewhere, you're looking for what? Everything to fall in place. And you don't have to know how it falls in place. You just have to know. That's where the faith comes in. That's where the trust comes in, that you know that you are going to do just fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Even if it's your first train ride, if it's your first prayer, you don't have to worry about it. Just pray from what you feel, what your words. Usually, when you do it enough times for yourself, you begin to see the imagery that's coming up in your mind that connects with the prayer. So, whether you say the prayer out loud in your own voice, or people are connected to what they call a light language is the same as what they call speaking in tongues. It's the same thing. You're hearing, you're not cooking up something, but you're hearing a vibration, you're hearing a tone coming through the ethers to you. And all you're doing is expressing that tone to the best of your ability, that you heard it telepathically, or you got the feeling for it, because maybe you're more empathic than you are intuitive, or more empathic than you are psychic. So you're very clairsentient. You're also clairaudient, because you could hear that tone within yourself. So you are able to say it. You get a feeling and you're able to interpret it into a sound, and that's a prayer. That's also a prayer. So your voice is a vessel for prayer, your body is a vessel for prayer, which also means that your body is a vessel also for meditation. See, so once you kind of get this down pat, once you kind of understand what it's like for you, then it gets even better for you. Now, the sacred partner to prayer is meditation. Meditation is not contemplation. Contemplation is thinking and processing one's thoughts or an idea that you may have heard. Meditation involves the process of not paying any attention to individualized nor clustered thoughts. That means in meditation, you're striving to do what? Remain open. Now, in the beginning, in the beginning, when you're meditating, there's a lot of chatter going on in your brain. There's a lot of internal chatter. Some of that is connected to your own worries, your own fears that you might have about something in your life, some problematic issues going on in your life, be it a relationship, with a spouse or a sibling or a parent or a next door neighbor or a coworker or a friend. It's chatter. 'Cause that's a sign that we're thinking all the time. 20, 30 years ago, they used to say, in our mind, for the mind, the science of mind, thoughts, that we thought maybe 10,000 thoughts a day. But now with internet, car phones, iPhones, Androids, tablets, iPads, that has increased to like 50,000 to 80,000 tidbits of information coming into your brain that you're thinking about all the time. So can you imagine how many thoughts that is? And this could be in the span of an hour, or it can be 30 minutes, because you're unaware there's just so much data that's kind of flowing through, that you're kind of walking through. So you're striving to do what? You're striving to really be in control of the way that you're thinking and the way that you're feeling. And it's hard to cut off the thoughts. So in the beginning, I and I don't. Well, people like to say I'm a master. I'm a master in the making because I've been doing meditation since 1971. That's a long time. But here's some of the things that many of you have experienced. Whether you're sitting in a group or one on one and you're trying to do a guided meditation, if you're physically and mentally tired, you're going to fall asleep. That's automatic. You're going to fall asleep. You almost can't help it because, again, there's so much that's going on in your life. And even if you say, okay, well, physically, there's not much going on in my life. Physically, there's not a lot going on. But there is, because you're thinking about it. You might have some direct thoughts on why it's not active for you or why it's overly active for you. So you're going to have some thoughts. You're going to feel tired. You're going to fall asleep because you're not accustomed to, like, we call tunnel vision or single eye focus. Put all your focus, all your concentration, which is focus, all of your intention, all of your intent into keeping your mind absolutely clear or absolutely open. So that's something that's like a chore, a mental chore, it's a mental exercise. Because while you're sitting quietly, maybe you've gotten the rhythm or cadence of your breathing down. You're focusing just on the feeling of what your breath is doing inside your body. Now you're open. Now, what's so interesting about being open mentally in meditation, eventually something does get through. You might see waves of energy, and you can have your eyes closed and catch up on waves of energy going on right up here in your head, pulses. Not only brain waves, but the emotional impulses throughout your body that are happening. So you're going to have that. You're going to see that. You're going to experience that. And the minute you place your awareness to it, your attention on it, then you start analyzing, and that's what you don't want to do. But if it happens, just address it with awareness. Oh, I'm thinking. And then allow yourself to pay attention to the rhythm of your breath, the way you breathe, and hopefully that will bring you back out of the meditation, out of the thought process anyway. So the whole idea is to develop an empty mind, no mind. That concept, it kind of comes in from, if you're someone who has experienced practicing martial arts. And most people in the martial arts will tell you, even people that have been, caught up out there in what they call street fights, they know if they look in the opponent's eye, they can tell when something is about to happen. They can tell that person's getting ready to attack. I must defend. However, if a person could have what they call the open mind or empty mind, which means no mind, in the Chinese called Wu Wei. W-U is one word and W-E-I is the other. It's Wei is W-E-I, Wu. So Wu Wei, meaning no energy can be detected running through your mind. No images can be detected, no thoughts. So when the person looks at you, they don't get a feeling that you're thinking about anything. So in meditation, one of your goals is Wu Wei, to be empty in the mind where there's no thoughts. Now, once you get there, once you can get to that level with yourself, and you eventually do, you get to that point where you have the Wu Wei experience. At some point in your practice where you see absolutely nothing, then you start seeing images come up. Then you start seeing images that move. You might see faces of people, faces of animals, faces of insects. You're going to see the energy that's within your auric field. You're going to begin to see it go through your mind. You're not thinking about it. It's there. That lets you know that all of us are being bombarded by energy all the time, which comes out in images all the time. But most of it is subtle because, again, we're on different, I'll call it, levels. Think of yourself when you're in a state of meditation, you're trying to get to the high rise at the top where nothing affects you. But often you have the experience of going to the top, but along the way, having some kind of connection or some kind of impact or influence of the lower floors. It's the same when you're meditating. Now you can come to your point of meditation. You can definitely come to your point of meditation where you want to see something. Because for many years you don't remember seeing anything. Or many months. But at some point, you kind of wake up, not out of the meditation, but you're still in the depths of the meditation. And you notice in your mind's eye, as we call them, third eye, that you're looking at something. It's been there for a while. What is that? What symbols are those? Whose face is that? And if you are very alert and very aware, you might even see the face move. The eyes move, have a closer image. So in order to have that closer image, you might want to remind yourself that every time you are inhaling, remember this, every time that you are inhaling, that which you see here is also in the ethers outside of yourself as well as inside. And so you're causing it to come closer to you as you inhale. Then whenever you're exhaling, that information, those symbols, those faces, those colors, they begin to expand. So they don't look like a speck anymore. It might look like the size of a quarter to you. These are some of the things that you can experience. Now, you can read about people who have been hooked up to electrodes, right? Taped right around their forehead, so that when they go into meditation and they get into that deep moment, they can see on the screen if the needle's jumping up and down or if it's, bouncing out smooth. They can tell. Scientists or people are doing the studies, they can tell that you're having some activity going on and that your nerve system is responding through your eyes and throughout your head. You're having a response. Even your physical heart engages, even your muscles engage. So you can tell there's something going on. You're actually meditating, and perhaps you are someplace in your mind, at a location in your mind, in the universe, and you're seeing things, you're interacting with things. So these are the things that could happen when you're meditating, because meditation is a partner to prayer. So that means you could take a prayer of St. Francis of Assisi if you want and study the prayer out. And then as you would go over the prayer, you start meditating on the words or what it feels like the prayer is speaking to you. You can have music in the background, an instrumental tune rolling around in the background that gives you a sense of peace. And you could also experience what that music is, how it's interacting with you. In other words, the sounds, the notes, like the flavor of the music, how you are interacting. How's that music, the sound, the tones, how's that playing off of your chakras? As Akhenaten says, the petals of light. How's that playing through the petals of light in your system? Now, once you can do this, and for those of you who joined, this is from my book, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. Came out last year as a paperback, but it first came out when I wrote it in 2003, 2004. Just in 2017, I added more chapters. It was just 22 originally in 2004, and I added 12 more chapters. So I'm reading from chapter 9, which is meditation and prayer. So, what I listed here to say in bold print, through meditation, we become guardians and recipients of divine wisdom. Okay, we become guardians and recipients of divine wisdom. We communicate with divine intelligence and even read what is called the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records is that substance, that energetic substance in the universe that contains every thought, every experience, not only with us, but with other entities, other beings that's in the universe, history in itself. We can actually go into that with our mind and have the experience. Just like you can go into the Akashic halls with your entire body, spiritual body, and see it from the base of your skull. The base of your skull is the projector chakra point for you to see your own and then plug in to everything else and see and experience everything else. The unique thing is when you're in the Akashic realm or the Akashic belt, the first and foremost things is usually in general the universal mind frame, and then there's yours. So you're looking at, well, what's your relationship to the two. That's one of the things that happens when you're in the Akashic realm. The highest realization is that through meditation, the aspirant, which is yourself, you're aspiring, you're reaching up, witnesses his or her own light emanating from within, as well as from one's surroundings. So I'm going to end it right there. The reading part is when you're meditating, you're really going deep. and you're capturing things that are connected to yourself, all of your thoughts, all of your feelings, all of your experiences. And it allows you to gain greater clarity about yourself. That's why it's so good to utilize meditation. In fact, there are people who pray so well, they get the cadence and the frequency down so well that the prayer that they speak becomes their meditation. And we might say symbolically, your meditation periods become like your prayer. So there's a lot that we can experience. To sum it up, there's a lot that we can experience. That's why I call my book Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace, because we are. Grace basically means that we don't have to have, we don't have to be a millionaire to experience grace. Grace is ease. Grace, or the I call the spirit or the angel of grace, allows us to have an easier go when life is extremely difficult. That's like you used your entire paycheck, you paid all your bills out, yet you need money to survive and you don't have it. But because you're in a state of gratitude, or as well, you are knowing based on the rhythm of your own life that something in the ethers is coming your way. And before you know it, you have grace enter your life. The Spirit of grace brought you somebody. Spirit of grace gave you an opportunity to make some additional cash. Why? Because you understand the rhythm of life, of your own way of life, and you understand that if you just relax your mind and we get rid of the worry and we get rid of the doubt, because you can create negative expectancy through doubt. I'll say that again. You can create negative expectancy through doubt, also through fear, also through anger. So we have to get ourselves away from too much worry, too much anxiety, which creates more stress, which allows us to get blocks, and then we can't think or can't feel correctly. But now, when the grace operates in your life, be thankful that it operated in your life. Be in that state of gratitude, be in that state of forgiveness for yourself, that you gave up on yourself. Because many of us have been there. I've been there. You give up on yourself and go like, okay, obviously I'm not in control of anything because nothing's working out. But if you wake up every day with that thought, you're telling the universe a negative prayer. And the universe, which is like the grand subconscious mind, goes, okay, you, with your emotional intent behind it, you're not expecting anything, so therefore I can't give you anything. I can't give you what you want because you don't know what you want and you're upset. So I'm only going to give you things that make you more upset. But if you could catch yourself and reverse your thoughts and reverse your feelings and change your feelings and pull out those weeds, then you can start to do what? You can start to go, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I know before the week is out, before the night is out, something's going to happen and I'm going to have some business. You could be this salesperson at home on a phone or in an office, doing your best to make contacts and doing all these cold canvas calls. But at some point, as you're doing all of that, and it's letting the universe know that you're excited. But then you got to let the universe know that it's your time. You can feel that this is your moment. But as I say, and I often say it to my students, and I remind myself, even if I have a roadblock somewhere, I go like, I remember one time I had this roadblock, And in a matter of moments, like inside of 30 minutes, everything switched up. So if you can go in your memory, we can go, oh, I remember that. Okay, I'm at this location. I don't see anybody, but I know if I go around the corner, I'm going to meet up with some people that I know, or I'm going to feel something because I'm being led to go around the corner. And then you go around the corner and you hang around the corner long enough, and then spirit gives you somebody that you know. And next thing you know, that person sees you laughing and talking, and that person takes you to your next destination. And you're saying, like, is that the universe watching over me? Yeah, that's the universe watching over you because it heard your prayer. It heard your meditative thought that you remembered being in a similar situation where something good came through for you. Now, what do? Do you always look for that situation? No, this is, this is what you do. You take the mood. Be like an artist. When an artist is painting a picture, drawing a picture, sometimes they get 8 hours a day. When they can get 8 hours a day, that's cool because then they're in the groove, they're in the zone. But there are times when they can only work 4 hours. There's times when an artist can only do 2 hours, and then they got to go someplace else. So what does the artist do? Male or female, man or woman or child? What does the artist do? The artist takes the memory that contains the emotions, that contains the mood of the moment with them. And they vibe off of that. They get nourishment from it. Their energy stays up, their frequency stays up. So now when they get back in their artist studio, be it at home or someplace else, they have the mood, they got the energy, and they can look at the work and they can continue. They can continue. They picked up on the frequency that allowed them to what? Continue on. That's what you want to be able to do. You want to get yourself to that point so that you can catch the zone and be in it 24/7 to the point where you can break your meditation period, go do an errand, go to a meeting, and you're taking that energy with you. The same when you deliver a prayer into the ethers around you, into yourself, you can pick back up on the frequency, the rhythm. The same with meditation. You want meditation to become a part of your life. You want prayer, if that's what you want to be a part of your life. You want to realize that both of them go hand in hand, and you're the guardian of it and you're the recipient. Well, how do you become the guardian of it? Well, you got to guard what comes into your mind. You got to guard, protect yourself in that sense of the word, not fisticuffs, but just be aware of the environment that you're always in or that you're traveling through. If you can be aware of that environment, that helps you. If we all can get to the level where we are showering ourselves with lots of unconditional love, if we can shower ourselves with the passion of grace in our lives, what it really feels like to have grace operating in our lives, then it doesn't matter how the external world is going on around you. You have peace on the inside of you. You know that goodness can happen at any moment. It could happen while you're home. It could happen while you're asleep. It can happen while you're looking for your phone and someone calls you and say, "Hey, I need to have an appointment with you. Hey, I need to see you. Hey, what are you doing? Can I stop by for a moment? I saw something at a place and I thought about you and I want to drop it off." And that's a blessing. You just got a blessing. So let's close this out with some prayer like energy and some meditation like energy. I want you to go to a place in your mind and place your awareness into your heart center, the middle of your sternum, your heart chakra range, or as Akhenaten says, the petals of light that are located at the heart. And I want you to sit there. I want you to feel how your heart center, petals of light at the heart feel to you? I want you to breathe into this space. And I want you to expand it by, as you inhale, you pull on it a little bit. And as you exhale, you are extending the field of energy, utilizing your mind and image and your breath. Now, in the base of your skull, your subconscious, you have many, 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 and in throughout your body, you have thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s of scenes of you being ecstatically happy. We're going to use 3 words in this meditation, starting right now. Just place your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your 2 front teeth and just relax. That connects the front channel with the back channel, over and through the spine. Very good. Just relax. Now, right about now, as you're inhaling, keeping your awareness on the heart petal of light, I want you to say these words to yourself. Every time I inhale, I'm inhaling peace, harmony, and happiness. And whenever I'm exhaling, I'm sharing that with the world. Whenever I'm inhaling peace, harmony, and happiness. And as I exhale, I'm sharing that with the world, meaning your immediate surroundings, personal space, and beyond. So let's say you're in an office, or you're at home, or you're in your car watching this live. I want you to populate the energy with those thoughts: peace, harmony, and happiness. And I want you to have an emotional awareness, emotional feeling. Get sensitive of what peace is to you, what harmony is to you, what happiness is to you. Just keep playing with that. Peace, harmony, and happiness. Has a rhythm to it. Peace, harmony, and happiness. Now, what you want to do is bring that, when you inhale, let it go in your body. You're sharing that energy of peace, harmony, and happiness with your entire body. Let's try it together. Inhale. I'm inhaling peace, harmony, and happiness. You can actually bring your hands back to yourself and then swipe your body down as you exhale. The body is taking the peace and the harmony and the happiness, and now it's doing what? It's playfully using it to feel better. Peace, harmony, and happiness. All right, this is Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace with your good friend here, myself, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, here on my channel at YouTube. This is the Circle of Grace 1. Whenever you come to my channel, hopefully you'll see it right here. We spent a little time explaining from my book, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace, on chapter 9, page 63 to 64, which is meditation and prayer in my book, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. You can get the book on Amazon.com as a paperback for $25 or as a Kindle ebook edition for $8.88. I'm glad I did this today so that people can come back and see it here on my channel. All right. Well, if you want to be in touch with me, you can simply email me at iam.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end, just like you see here. Run it all together as one word with the number 1 in there, at gmail.com. Circle of Grace with the number one at the end at gmail.com. You can also leave a message on my Skype internet number, which is 505-349-4722. Oh, and by the way, coming up on Saturday, we have definitely less than a month now. Coming up on Saturday out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I'm doing a 1-day seminar under my series, Mentoring Masters, Entering Mastery. If you want to come to it, you need to email me. The cost is $260. You just missed the from August the 1st through September 22nd. I had an early bird price in there for $216. Now it's $260. So right now you want to, if you're wanting to come, I can send you a list of hotels and inns that are right along the main boulevard, which is 7413 Manal Boulevard Northeast in Albuquerque. Zip code I think there is 87110 for the location. The place is called Resident Essentials, but you need to email me so we can figure out how you can pay me so you can come to this one day. We're going to be talking about meditation. We're going to talk about numerology as keys to help you. This is series part 2 now. So it's a 5-hour day or 6-hour day. There's going to be some refreshments there for lunch break for us. So you're going to learn about meditation, how it connects us to our life. The key to life is numerology, how the frequency of numbers can help us identify things that are going on in our life. You're going to understand how to work with the power of your own word, which is affirmations and decrees, and how to put the emotional energy into it. You're going to learn how to see an aura, how to scan it, how to feel it, and how to manipulate it with yourself. And if you're working with others, how you can assist them changing their auric field. And then the last part of the day is called the spirit of the pendulum. The spirit of the pendulum, you understand how a pendulum works, how to utilize it to ascertain strategic answers that will give you a yes and a no. Well, know how to read a vibration within your house. Okay, so all of this will be taught on Saturday, October the 20th, 2018. Saturday, October the 20th, 2018, out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mountain time, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time in the morning to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You'll be able to come out here and record many of it. You get a digital recorder, or maybe use your phone, iPhone or your Android phone, and record bits and pieces if you'd like. I'm looking to have a study guide, which gives you like an outline. So you need to email me at iam.circlegrace1@gmail.com and get on my mailing list. And if you want to come out here to the event, which is Saturday, October the 20th, 2018, then do that. Contact me. Call me 505-349-4722. That's my Skype internet number. Leave me your full name or your first name at least and a contact phone number, or email me and I'll send you the information. Okay, we have plenty of ways in which to have you pay for it. Won't be a problem. $260 for the day. I'm the sole teacher. Hopefully you'll meet some of my students there. The person that owns the place, she'll be there as well. I'm old school. I teach one like many and many like one. So when you're there, you get the information. Now, after that point, I'm going to be doing more of this online. So I'm going to do it. So maybe every 6 to 8 weeks, we'll have a live video streaming format and you can get a ticket, a paid ticket, and enter that way. So I'm out of here. We've been on about almost 54 minutes. I got to get to my next destination. Thank you. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Thank you so much. See you soon.